What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Breadman Show, where I talk about whatever the hell I want. And I'm mainly going to focus this show around video games, so I appreciate everybody listening to my very first episode. And for my very first episode, I would like to bring up something that HealthCentral.com did, I guess, this study, and it was done within the past week. Today is going to be August 1st, so within the past week, I seen this pop up on Yahoo.com, and then I went over to their site, and the title is 8 Ways Video Games Are Bad for Your Health. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk with you guys about the 8 different ways HealthCentral.com thinks that video games are bad for your health, and you guys can agree or disagree with me. Please go ahead and leave something in the comments or subscribe to the page or like the video, whatever you guys want to do. Just please make sure you come back often, because whenever I see something that I feel like bitching about, hopefully you guys be bitching along there with me. I want to read your guys' comments. So let's get to it. The very first one is muscle pain, and they're linking this with playing the Wii and the Xbox Kinect. I'm kind of a yay or nay on this. When I first started playing the Wii, I did not feel much muscle pain because, you're really just using your quads and your hamstrings and your ass and all those muscles. And, you can use some hips and stuff like that if you're doing like a hula hoop or some crazy shit like that. But, how often are you going to get crazy with a Wii Fit game? So, Xbox Kinect, on that, yeah, I would say yes. Doing even the really simple Xbox Kinect Adventures, whatever that fuck that shit is, I don't even know what the hell it is. But it comes with that Kinect, and you just go through and play different sports games. It's just like the Olympics. So you're jogging, and then the disc, so you're throwing the disc around, and then pole vaulting, all that kind of cool things. I was doing all that, and after doing it for hours on end, just getting some achievements and stuff like that, yeah, I will say I was pretty sore. And is it really bad for your health to have sore muscles? No. I mean, the main purpose for the Wii and the Xbox Kinect and even the PlayStation Move is so gamers get off their ass and, make us active and make us do stuff. I say I've yet to play the UFC Fit for the Xbox Kinect because I do not have a Kinect. I'm probably going to wait when I get one for the new Xbox One that comes out. But, with this whole thing about muscle pain, it all is what you put into it. So if you want to say that is bad, that muscle pain is bad, I'm really big into lifting weights. I've done powerlifting for years and 16 weeks harsh diets from bodybuilders and stuff like that. So I know muscle pain, and really not that bad compared to what I have been through, but I think it is healthy to get off your ass and to do stuff. And yes, I do play video games. I am not in the best shape of my life right now, and I'm not going to blame video games. I'm not going to point one game and say, damn you, World of Warcraft and all your Quest. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, working multiple jobs. So that's one thing that's really fucked me over with my weight. But, yeah, I'm 6'1", just around 200 pounds. So I'm not really that bad. Yeah, I can't see my abs anymore, but that's more of a shiny detail. I mean, shit, I live in Michigan. I don't live in California. So who really cares about if you have abs or not in fucking Michigan, right? I'm more with my favorite number, usually number 2. Yeah, no, bad joke. But anyway, number 2 is seizures. And yes, I can agree with this being bad for your health. If you do not know that you have seizures, and I guess if you have epilepsy is what they call it, and then you start watching some cartoons or start watching a movie in the theaters or even some video games, they do warn you before you play the game that if you have a case of having seizures and shit like that, not to play this fucking game. Yeah, it's not in quotations about what the game developers say. And if they did say something like that, that'd be just fucking great for the game developers. But anyway, yes, number 2, I can agree. Seizures, that can be bad for your health because you can even have the Mac Daddy of them all, the grand mal seizures. And, I do not suffer from epilepsy, so I've heard that they are very, very painful. I'm very sorry for you guys and gals out there who do have epilepsy and can't enjoy, anything good. I guess some people can call it in this world of video games or movies or anything like that, but hopefully there's a way of curing it, just like hopefully there's a way of curing cancer one day. That's what I'm really hoping and pulling for. But for number 2, yes, I will put a green check next to that one. That can be very bad for your health, because that shit will kill you. Just like number 3, obesity will kill you. And it is measured on the body mass index scale, roughly, that 1/3 of Americans are obese. And how are they blaming this for video games? I understand. Okay, guys, when a new game comes out, and it's a game that I am fucking psyched for, let's say Halo Reach, I last did this. I kid you not, guys, I was up for a solid 2 fucking days, and almost a third day, and I did not do much but take a quick piss break and just take a quick snack break. And usually my snacks was confined in a bag in front of me, or can be nuked in the microwave for just a few minutes. So if I was huge into games and I didn't have anything to do during the day, and if I did nothing but play video games and didn't have an exercise routine of any kind, can I see myself being obese from not eating right and not exercising and get out of the house? Yes, I can see myself doing it. But am I going to go as far as blaming video games for my problems? That'd be like blaming McDonald's for making me fat. But wow, doesn't that sound like a familiar case of some kind? Anyway, so yes, I am not going to agree with how, obesity, the 1/3 of Americans, is from video games. I'm just not going to do that. Number 4 is aggressive behavior. I will say that after playing a few games, and I think the biggest game that I can come to mind, my first most aggressive game where I wanted to break my fucking controller after losing, would have to be Fight Night Round 2, because in those games you can be winning 11 rounds, and even if you're doing the championship bouts on the older style playthroughs where, back in boxing they used to do 15 rounds. So if you were on round number 14 and your opponent, let's use Muhammad Ali for example, back in the old George Foreman fight, just comes out of nowhere in the last round or whatnot and knocks you out, you just wasted a good chunk of your day and a good chunk of your time sitting there, and you just lost, and maybe there was a good achievement on the line or just anything that can really piss you off. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm really not much of a guy that will get pissed off and want to throw my controller through a TV or punch a crying child or anything like that. But there's been times when I don't like getting teabagged when I'm playing a Halo game. But, when I do get teabagged, I will sit there and focus on finding that person and getting redemption. And when I do, it feels so great to get payback on that fucking person. But aggressive behavior, yes, I can see this being something where people can take out of context and even say that this will go and strike on a shooting of some kind, or a mass murder charge, and they can say that, well, I played Grand Theft Auto, so I decided to go out and beat up a bunch of old ladies for fun. I can't imagine a story like that coming about, but I want to say stranger things have happened. So aggressive behavior for number 4, yes, I can agree with that being true. Number 5, poor grades in school. Oh, perfect fucking example. I'm guessing they're talking about kids that is, back in elementary school and all that kind of stuff. So I will say, when a game came out in the early 2000s, if y'all are out there, all my Motor City Online fans, I'm also on a Facebook like group too, because I just fucking love that game so much. But yes, when that game came out, Motor City Online, it seemed like nothing else mattered in the world as far as getting my grades up in school. Played that game nonstop. And that was the same thing with Fight Night Round 2. My buddy Nick and I will just come over to my house right off the bus, and we'll just bust on some Fight Night Round 2 for hours. And when Round 3 came out, it wasn't too serious on it because, Round 3 was just slow, and everything was just in slow motion compared to Round 2, where you can just throw freaking haymaker after haymaker nonstop, where in number 3, they really had to watch your stamina and your endurance and how everything was done in your training, because that would really help you out in your current fight that you are fighting at that time. And also, real quick, if you guys are looking for a great game to go through and get all your achievements, and I believe it's the same thing on PlayStation, all your trophies, pick up Fight Night Round 3 for the 360 or the PS3, and you guys will get that knocked out in a few hours, guaranteed. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great game. Love the game franchise. But yes, number 5, poor grades in school. I myself have been a victim of having poor grades in school, even from, let's say Super Mario. Oh, Super Mario Kart Racing. Yeah, Super Mario Kart Racing. That was, every time I pick up that game, it seems like I did it for hours, and I never get out of the house. And let's go segueing that, never get out of the house. Number 6 is lack of vitamin D. And like a lot of us know, vitamin D is absorbed through your skin, through the sunlight, and it's something that your body does need. Even if you are a vampire and you live in a fucking basement and you never get out of the house and you're like a hermit crab underneath a fucking stone for years, and you get out of the house, every once in a while to go to a concert or a truck pull or something like that, your body does need it. In a sense, it does need it. So I will have a lack of vitamin D when I was younger, for sure, because, just talking about Super Mario Kart, I'd be playing it in my place until my parents kicked me out, and then I'll go over to my buddy Andrew's house until, his parents kicked us out. But it seemed like we always went to a different person's house, and we always played the same games. But it was the coolest thing coming out in the 90s with that, of just Nintendo and Super Nintendo. And then, of course, you had shareware of Doom on your PC or your Mac back then, and it was great. That's the core gamings. Those are my core gamings. I just fucking love it. So yes, vitamin D, number 6. I will say yes in a way, but I don't think it's gonna be to the point where it's gonna kill you. But can it be bad for you? Think about it, you guys. Anything could be bad for you. I mean, the fucking air you breathe, depending on where you're at, where you're living, where you're working, what you're exposed to. If you're around, coal, if you're a coal miner, if you are a mechanic like myself and you're doing stuff in the garage and you come across a car from, let's say anywhere from, the 50s through the 70s. We got asbestos brakes and brake dust and stuff like that. That shit is not good for you. So, yeah. Any air that you breathe can be bad for you, so I'm kind of a yay or a nay on number 6. All right, number 7, changes in physical appearance. I do believe this plays a little bit of a role in a lot of people, but to blame it all on video games, no, I would probably say no. I mean, you can blame physical appearance on having a child, because you'll put some weight on, even if you're the father in the relationship, to where you can be putting some weight on too, just because you're not getting the sleep or you're not getting anything like that. So in this study on healthculture.com, they are saying you'll develop, or more likely to develop, black rings in the skin under your eyes and suffer from a displacement in the shoulder blade. Well, all depends on your posture, and this is going with poor posture and muscle stiffness. In the same thing with physical appearance, I'm just gonna say no, because you are what you do to your body. Does video games take that away from you and just like make you really go off and do something else to where you don't even realize that you sat there for 4 or 5 hours, not done anything with yourself? You haven't ate, so you're hungry, you probably shit yourself and you didn't even know it. Yeah, I would say that, not from not from a personal standpoint of shitting myself and not realize it because I was so far into my video game, but we've all been there to realize, wow, where did those last 3 hours go? This is a great fucking game. Let's go ahead and blow through another 7 hours and let's call in the work using our sick voice, and let's crank out this game and then realize, well, I probably should have worked that week, or I probably should have worked that day, or I probably shouldn't have quit that job because my car just broke, or the bills are coming up. Change of physical appearance for number 7. I'm going to give it a red X on that. I'm sorry. But number 8, sleep deprivation. This is a big one for me, but yet again, I also don't sleep that much. I do have insomnia some type, so you can sleep for a few hours and then get right back up and feel fully energized, or you can go days without sleep. It all depends on what you have going on in your personal life. Is a video game going to keep you up from what this is saying? They say that hardcore gamers are spending 3 times that amount of playing video games, and that's 1 hour per day. It all depends, you guys. When I sit down and if I'm working on a video game and trying to get some achievements, then yes, I will probably sleep deprive myself, have to work the next day, double or a triple shift all the way through, and I could have used those couple hours of sleep, but I did not. I'm not a big guy at energy drinks, but if I am offered one or if I come across one, then yes, I will get an energy drink. Do I live off of them like some people? No. I'm not a pop drinker. I'm a huge water guy. I drink at least a gallon of water a day, up to 3 gallons of water, so I keep myself well hydrated. I don't get a lot of headaches. I'm really surprised with some kind of retinas or anything like that, that they did not put that in their study or give it a 9 or a 10 and make it 10 ways that video games are bad for your health. I'm not going to talk too much longer about this. I appreciate everybody listening to the first episode. I just seen this article and I wanted to rant and rave on it a little bit. So every time that I see an article and I want to rant and rave or think that the community out there, you guys being the community, will agree with me or disagree with me on something, please go ahead and let me know. And I'm not going to come out with a weekly episode as of right now. I'm just going to throw this out there as a pilot to see how it does, see what everybody thinks about it, and then we'll go from there. But everybody, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to everybody soon.